one thing I've got to ask you, Gooch, is, Tommy said there that they think that they've got expectation in the next round, and they scrimmed those guys online for a bit. How important is the preparation up to this event going to be? Because, online Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is so much different to LAN, but there's still so much preparation you can do, in my opinion.
Well, there's always the case of your setups are always going to be the same whether you're on LAN or online. But of course, it comes down to the various different gun battles. Now, you see a lot of players saying it makes no difference, but then you have a few players that clearly don't have necessarily as strong connections up, so maybe that's why some players say they do, some players say they don't. I mean, you'll find that a lot of players sometimes say it depends what gun you're using. You'll see more often than not, the Scorpion gets used at LAN more frequently than what it does at home. I never really see many players online use the Scorpion, whereas on LAN it does get used a lot more. Of course, you always find the players are trying to use the same stuff as what they do at home at LAN, but I think the Scorpion's a lot stronger at LAN, purely down to the bullet reg and the connection. It's just going to be timeless, it's going to be exactly on point, and you land a few bullets with that Scorpion at close range, it's just going to tear you a new one.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. And I think I was watching over on the North American side, Big Time used to play with the AN94 quite a lot, and then he moved over to that M8 because I think that he thought it was, more consistent on LAN. So you do see a lot of people, trying to stick with similar stuff if they are able to do so, and with those class setups and everything like that, which is why it takes so long in between the game. But, we were talking about it earlier, that AN94 really hasn't had much of a drop that I've seen so far. It doesn't seem to be having too many issues here at EGL so far.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it a little bit when me and you were casting together earlier. It did get a reduced damage in the last patch, but the way that I've seen the players still using it, it hasn't really made much effect whatsoever. And I have just had word that it's going to be Bissell from the Infuse lining up with Kerry for an interview before we get our next match underway. So that is going to be Bissell with Kerry very, very shortly. But we were saying there about the AN94. Do you really think that any of these changes really make too much difference to the overall game?
I don't know. It's a difficult one to call. And obviously we had things like the FAL originally at the start of the game. And I think that was, well, of course it got, banned because it did get decided by a lot of governing bodies that it was overpowered. And I feel with guns like that going that it could have made some differences within the scene. But with these little drops now, like the slightly reduced damage in the AN94, I don't think it's going to change the general outcome in the game because not everybody's using it. And I don't think it's going to cost anybody too much in that sense. So I think we're going to go to another interview with Kerry now. She's over with Bizzle, so we'll join.